Chosen one, don't sprint into a door God is opening. Timing is a lock, not a mood. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. The door is real, but it is time-coded. Locks don't open because you beg louder. They open because the tumblers align. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects. Think of it like this. A hinge opens clean only when pressure is applied at the right angle, at the right second. Push too soon, you don't prove faith. You warp the hinge. You scrape the finish. You miss the handle entirely and bruise your own knuckles. Rushing doesn't speed blessing, it distorts it. The universe calls it interference. Mechanics call it misalignment. Take a breath. Feel how your body wants to lunge. That lunge is the interference. Neuroscience confirms that urgency floods the system. Fine motor control drops and decision quality collapses. You think you're accelerating, and in truth, you're shaking the lock with jittery hands while the combination is one digit away from clicking. Chosen one, pause with me. Imagine a time-locked safe. You can pray at it, cry at it, kick it. It won't open at 11:59 when it's coded for 12. That isn't cruelty, that's calibration protecting what's inside. Sudden financial breakthrough operates the same way. When the hinges, motives, and capacity align, the door swings, fast, quiet, deeply personal, not early, not late, precisely. So let's establish the stakes. Sprinting at the door can cost you the door. You introduce noise into a clean channel. You leak information that invites hands you didn't authorize. You grab the wrong handle just because it moved first. Activity without alignment is self-sabotage in a rush suit. And here is the core question guiding everything we do next. What behaviors cause a sudden financial breakthrough to slip away at the last second? We will name them, number them, and remove them. For now, regulate. Your restraint is not passivity, it is precision. Stay at the handle without rattling it. When timing completes the circuit, you won't need to force it. You'll just turn, and it will open. Chosen one, let's step inside the mechanism. Alignment is not you grabbing the handle. It is you becoming the person the door recognizes. Control lunges. Alignment arrives. Control turns knobs with shaking hands. Alignment stands still until the tumblers click and then turns once. Clean. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects. It opens what you're prepared to carry. Think of it like this. Thresholds exist. A door isn't sentimental, it's weighted. When enough weight is added to the right side, character, clarity, capacity, the latch releases without a speech. Picture a scale tipping when the last necessary ounce is placed. Not a pound of panic, an ounce of precision. That's alignment. The universe calls it coherence. Mechanics call it load limit reached. Interference has nowhere to land when the structure is balanced. Take a breath. Your nervous system notices the difference between chasing and being ready. Studies in psychology show that when intent and action match, decision latency drops and accuracy rises. Translation: aligned effort pulls what matches it. Access is attracted, not chased. You don't sprint after it, you generate a signal it cannot ignore. This is not hype. This isn't money falling from the sky while you nap. It is an opening, an offer, an approval, a connection, a contract, a release. A wire clears, a signature hits, a door inside a person unlocks and introduces you. When you're aligned, these arrivals feel sudden to onlookers, but you and I know the math. The threshold finally took the last ounce. Chosen one, alignment looks practical. Your numbers are clean. Your ask is exact. Your calendar has capacity for what you're requesting. Your motive doesn't leak. Your message is one sentence, not 12 excuses. You move quiet. You move repeatable. You move calm. That calm is power. Interference needs chaos to stick. When you run coherent, it slides off. And hear this suspense clearly. Right before that threshold tips, pressure spikes. That spike is not a curse. It's proximity. 3 timing mistakes usually happen in that squeeze. We will name them, strip them, and keep your hands steady at the handle. For now, hold alignment. Let the door read you and open on schedule. Chosen one, here's why the last week feels like a test you didn't schedule. Proximity has a pulse. Bills are loud. Deadlines stalk your calendar. You scroll and compare their announcement to your silence, and your chest tightens. Your mind whispers, if it were really close, wouldn't it be here already? Take a breath. Pressure before provision is normal. It rises right as the hinge is about to move. The pressure you feel isn't proof you're late. It's often proof you're near. Notice the spike. The closer you stand to an opening, the louder your old survival programming gets. It wants to grab, to explain, to prove. Psychology calls it scarcity loop. Neuroscience calls it threat response. The universe calls it interference. That surge is not guidance, it's static. It's the past trying to renegotiate a future that doesn't need its permission. When you misread that static as a sign to sprint, you introduce noise into a clean channel, and the door pauses to protect what's behind it. Think of the doorway zone like a pressurized chamber between 2 climates. On one side, your old identity, hypervigilant, over-explaining, hustle-drunk. On the other side, your new responsibility, measured, exact, accountable. In the chamber, gauges read you, motive, capacity, regulation, not to punish you, to equalize pressure so the door doesn't blow open and blow you out. Your job is to breathe while the systems balance. Chosen one, regulate your body before you regulate the room. Studies show that when the nervous system is soothed, executive function returns and risk assessment improves. Translation: calm brings back your handle. You don't need to make noise. You need to maintain signal. Justice doesn't send a warning text. It just shows up right on time. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects. Let it collect for you, not from you. Here's the structure for what we dismantle next. Number 1, panicked grabbing. Desperation, touching the blessing first and smudging it. Number 2, forcing motion, confusing busy hands with aligned steps. Number 3, broadcasting too early, letting noise touch what is still forming. We will strip each one off your handle. For now, hold steady in the doorway zone. You are not behind. You are at the handle. Stay clean, stay quiet, and let timing do what it always does. Chosen one, here is the first error that makes doors stall. Panicked grabbing. Desperation touches the blessing first, smudges it, and then you blame the door. Desperation doesn't unlock doors. It makes you grab the wrong handle. You know the posture. I'll take any deal, any loan, any partnership, any shortcut. I'm tired of waiting. That isn't faith. That's interference dressed as hustle. Let this scene fix itself in your mind. Imagine a door that opens inward. If you push when it requires a pull, you'll swear it's locked. You'll bruise your knuckles, call it resistance, and lunge for the nearest side entrance, usually a predatory term sheet, a rushed collaboration, or cash with strings tight enough to cut. Available is not the same as assigned. Fast is not the same as right. Access is not authorization. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. Scarcity chemistry contaminates discernment. Neuroscience confirms that elevated cortisol narrows options, shortens patience, and makes neutral signals read like emergencies. Psychology calls it tunnel attention. You stop seeing nuance and you start seeing clocks. You mistake silence for rejection. You treat "let me review" as "run now." Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects. When cortisol runs your calendar, you end up paying interest to the very force you were trying to outrun. So we correct the chemistry to correct the choices. Slow the body to speed the outcome. Protocol. Institute a 48-hour rule on big decisions, capital, contracts, partnerships, pivots. If urgency demands an instant yes, it's a policy no. Write criteria before you read offers. Numbers, terms, exit costs, capacity required, non-negotiable values. Keep it on paper, not just in adrenaline. Then consult one grounded advisor, not a group chat of panic. One voice with clean motives and a cool nervous system. Breathe on purpose. Longer exhales than inhales. Walk, hydrate, sleep once. Reread in the morning when your field of view returns. Chosen one, what's for you won't require you to abandon yourself to get it. The right door won't make you betray your boundaries, rush your process, or gamble your peace. It will ask for clarity, capacity, and a steady hand. Pull, don't push. Let timing complete the circuit. Say fewer yeses, make cleaner ones, and watch how availability starts to match assignment. Chosen one, hear me clearly. The door tests your motive before it tests your skill. Skill can get you noticed. Clean hands get you qualified. Money isn't just income, it's weight. It is management, integrity, and restraint measured over time. Think stewardship, not stunt. What's about to open adds responsibility to your calendar, not just commas to your balance. The universe calls it capacity. Mechanics call it load-bearing. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects, and it collects on motive first. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. This isn't about flexing on who doubted you. It isn't about the photo, the caption, or making anyone eat their words. This justice wasn't about revenge. It was about removal, removing lack patterns, removing the reflex to prove, removing the need to be seen to feel safe. Restraint is dominance. You don't gloat. You don't explain. You receive, steward, and let timing do what it always does. Expose the trap with me. If you're racing to win financially to prove someone wrong, you've already given them ownership of your thermostat. Psychology calls it an external validation loop. Neuroscience confirms that dopamine tied to audience approval creates dependence. When the applause dips, performance tanks. The body keeps score, sleep breaks, focus scatters. You become emotionally indebted to the very crowd you claim you've outgrown. That is not freedom. That is a leash with a luxury tag. So we move to the clean signal. Opportunities read you. They read your pattern consistency, your boundaries under pressure, your ability to hold peace when the room spikes. Think of a clean room in a lab. The slightest residue aborts the experiment. Think of a vault that opens to the right fingerprint, not the loudest knock. Tools don't choose sides. They respond to coherence. Alignment cancels interference. When your motive is clean, access is attracted, not chased. Protocol for clean hands. Ask 3 questions before you say yes. Would I take this if no one knew? Do the terms require me to betray a value I plan to build with? Can I sustain this without bleeding out my peace? Put the answers on paper. Maintain a 72-hour announcement delay after any win. Stability before visibility. Keep receipts clean, contracts exact, taxes in order, boundaries rehearsed. Breathe long, speak less. Deliver what you promised, not what you posted. Chosen one, if your motive wobbles, you will start forcing motion just to feel in control. Busy as anesthesia, noise as courage. That is the next trap on the path. We will strip it next. Stay clean at the handle. The door responds to cleanliness. Motive is part of the qualification. Chosen one, here is the second error that looks like progress, while it empties your battery. Forcing motion. Over-applying to everything. Over-messaging everyone. Pivoting every week. Changing prices daily. Chasing every trend like a siren with your name on it. You call it momentum. Reality calls it noise. Activity can be avoidance. Alignment is focused, repeatable, and calm. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. Motion without grounding snaps back. Energy leaks when you move without a target. Think of it like a power grid. Too many devices plugged in at once trips the breaker. Lights flicker. Systems reboot. You weren't under attack. You were overloaded. Neuroscience confirms that rapid context switching spikes error rates and drains working memory. Your brain spends more time reloading than producing. The universe calls it inefficiency tax. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects. Subtle cost, but it's devastating. You become inconsistent. Your reputation turns to fog. People can't cite what you do because you keep rewriting the sentence. The right door can't find your signal because you keep changing the frequency. Imagine radar trying to lock onto a transponder that updates its code every sunrise. Not malicious, just untrackable. Access doesn't chase chaos, it reads stability. Correction clean and exact. One lane, one offer, one skill stack for 90 days. Not forever, 90 days. Daily small reps you can measure. 1 hour of deep work, 5 qualified outreaches. 1 refinement to the same product, 1 proof of value captured. Weekly review on paper, metrics, not mood, leads, closes, delivery speed, customer friction. No emotional pivots mid-week, no price changes for 90 days unless math, not mood, demands it. 1 platform you can feed consistently, 1 message people can repeat without you in the room. Breathe. Slow is not stuck. Stillness isn't laziness. Stillness is strategy when timing is loading. Hold your frequency. Alignment cancels interference. When the tumblers click, 1 clean turn will do what a month of frantic rattling never could. Chosen one, hear this verdict clean. The doorway is a capacity test. Not can you touch it, can you hold it without bleeding it out? Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. A sudden opening requires a prepared container. Capacity is the quiet qualifier. Money doesn't just enter, it stays where there is structure. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects. It collects from leaky containers and it compounds in clean ones. Think of it like this. Pour water into a cracked jar and call it abundance. You'll still end up thirsty. More pouring won't fix a fracture. Systems do. Capacity looks boring until it saves you. It is systems, savings habits, a debt plan, calendar discipline, and boundaries so the opening doesn't become a new crisis disguised as a win. Tools don't choose sides. They amplify the intent and the infrastructure under them. When the intent is clean but the structure is sloppy, amplification becomes spillage. Let's address the body because the body keeps score. If your nervous system needs chaos to feel normal, you will recreate chaos after provision arrives. Neuroscience confirms that when stress chemistry becomes the baseline, the brain will seek familiar spikes, overspending for a hit, overbooking for a rush, over-promising for applause. Psychology calls it homeostatic addiction. The universe calls it sabotage in costume. Take a breath. Regulation is a financial skill. Calm turns windfalls into wells. Practical readiness, exact and simple. Separate accounts so the streams don't tangle. Income in, taxes parked, operations funded, owners pay defined. A simple budget you can explain out loud in 60 seconds. Automated bills and fixed debt payments so mood can't hijack math. A 12-month debt plan you can point to. An emergency buffer goal with a number and a date. Start with 1 month of operating costs. Build toward 3. Documented goals for the next 90 days tied to deliverables, not vibes. What you will ship, to whom, by when, and how you'll measure it. Calendar discipline that blocks deep work, delivery windows, and protected rest. Boundaries on paper, price floors, no rush clauses. late fee policies, and a default answer for favors that drain your runway. Chosen one, capacity also includes how you guard the opening from hands you didn't approve. The final sabotage is relational: who you tell, who you trust, and how you broadcast the blessing. Announcements attract appetites. Timing protects integrity. Announce after the door becomes irreversible. Until then, hold the edges of your container tight. Alignment cancels interference. Stay measured, stay exact, and let the door read your readiness. Chosen one, here is the third trap that feels like celebration while it bleeds your timing. Broadcasting too early, announcing before it's signed, posting before it's deposited, sharing numbers with people who haven't earned the right to hold your data without shaking it. You call it faith. Reality calls it interference. Protection is timing. Announce after the door becomes irreversible. Imagine this. You take bread out of the oven early because you want to post it. It looks golden for a minute. You snap the picture, and then it collapses in the middle. Not because it wasn't real dough, but because structure wasn't set. Money moves the same way. Contracts need heat. Wires need confirmation. Deals need counter-signatures. Pull it out for applause, and the center caves. Timelines extend. And you start performing to compensate for a softness you created. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. Not everyone is evil, but not everyone is regulated. Other people's anxiety becomes your interference if you hand them the steering wheel with a screenshot. Psychology calls it emotional contagion. Neuroscience confirms that mirror neurons echo the strongest signal in the room. Panic to panic, doubt to doubt. You don't need a curse to stall a blessing. Confusion alone can delay you. Some smiles are sharp. They won't sabotage you overtly. They'll ask questions that make your hands shake at the handle. Are you sure? What if it falls through? Did you think about? And suddenly, you're second-guessing a door that was already reading you clean. Pause with me. This justice wasn't about revenge. It was about removal, removing the need to be seen mid-process, removing the reflex to feed the crowd to feel safe. Restraint is dominance. You didn't expose them loudly. You stayed in your lane and let time do what it always does. Tools don't choose sides. They amplify the signal you set. If you set noise, you get echo. If you set quiet, you get clearance. Alignment cancels interference. Correction protocol, exact and simple. Keep it quiet until it's irreversible. Signed, funded, calendared. Share only with one accountable person whose nervous system is cooler than yours and whose motives are provable over time. Document decisions privately, criteria, terms, next steps, so your brain doesn't outsource certainty to comments. Maintain a 72-hour visibility delay after confirmation to let systems settle. Move clean, move quiet. Let the results speak after the door is fully open. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects. Let it collect for you, not from you. Chosen one, you're closer than your nerves admit. Final approach isn't fireworks. It's pattern recognition, not fast, not frantic, precise. Here are the tells that you're at the handle. 1. Unexpected conversations begin circling the exact lane you've been building in. People you didn't pitch start asking technical questions that only make sense if a path is opening. 2. Delayed answers flip from not now to yes, let's move. Permits clear, underwriters thaw. An old prospect resurfaces with a date. 3. An old skill you shelved becomes suddenly valuable. What felt dusty reads like leverage. 4. A clean ending makes room. Contracts conclude without drama. A misaligned client exits. A door closes without your anger needing to push it. 5. A surprising invitation arrives from a credible hand. No begging, no resume theater, just, "We've been watching. Are you available?" Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. Near the door, your job is regulation. Clarity keeps you on the right timeline. If it's yours, it comes with specificity, sane timelines, and mutual benefit. If it's bait, it arrives with fog, urgency, and flattery that outruns details. Psychology calls it pressure selling. Neuroscience confirms that time pressure spikes cortisol and narrows discernment. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects. Rushed yeses become delayed lessons. Micro instructions, exact and simple. Pause before you reply. Breathe until the shake leaves. Sleep on decisions that change money, calendar, or ownership. One night minimum. Write the terms in your own words and read them out loud. If you can't explain it, you can't sustain it. Ask one clarifying question that reveals intent. What problem are we solving and how will we measure it? Or what happens if we wait 48 hours? Clean opportunities tolerate light. Traps hate questions. Moral posture holds the hinge steady. No gloating, no proving, no revenge spending. Stewardship and stability. You don't buy trophies, you build buffers. You honor the 72-hour visibility delay. You deliver what you promised, not what applause tempts. Alignment cancels interference. Stay regulated at the handle. And when timing clicks, you'll turn once. Quiet, exact, irreversible. Chosen one, when it clicks, you turn once. Quiet, exact, irreversible. And then you don't celebrate, you manage. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. The first 72 hours determine whether this opening becomes a well or a wave. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects. Collect for you, not from you. Hours 0 to 6. Confirm before you exhale. Verify funds cleared, signatures countersigned, wire receipts logged, scope and deliverables in writing. Screenshot nothing for the crowd. Document everything for your records. Notify only the essential 3, legal/accounting, delivery partner if applicable, and one regulated advisor. No impulse purchases, no emotional promises, no sudden discounts or favors. Set the first boundary out loud. I'm in execution mode for 72 hours. Email only, written scopes, no rush approvals. Hour 6 to 24. Sequences safety. Stabilize essentials first, then debt, then buffer, then expansion. No skipping steps. 1. Essentials, rent, payroll, insurance, software tools, current obligations. Schedule them. 2. Taxes. Park the exact percentage in a separate account before you touch anything else. 3. Debt. Target high interest first. Schedule payments, not heroics. 4. Buffer. Fund 1 month of operating costs on paper. Begin moving toward 3. 5. Only after those are set. Allocate a modest slice to growth with clear ROI metrics. A dam release is powerful, but it needs channels or it floods the village. Build channels, accounts, automations, calendar blocks, delivery checkpoints. Hour 24 to 48. Lock scope, pace delivery. Confirm timelines with clients in writing. Clarify what's included and what isn't. No new recurring expenses for 30 days. No hiring spikes to soothe anxiety. Psychology calls it reward chasing. Neuroscience confirms dopamine spikes can hijack planning and shrink foresight. Breathe until clarity returns, then move. Hour 48 to 72. Audit integrity. Reconcile contracts to bank entries. Update the 90-day plan with dates, deliverables, and owners. Rehearse boundary scripts for asks that arrive with your announcement. I have a plan for these funds. I can't deviate. Maintain the 72-hour visibility delay. Let systems settle, then communicate measured facts, not fireworks. Chosen one identity check. You are not the old version who spent to numb pain. You are trained, disciplined, awake. This isn't a miracle to admire, it's an invitation to consistency. Steward quietly, deliver precisely. Let time do what it always does. Compound what you handle clean. Chosen one, Closing verdict. Timing is a lock, not a mood. The door won't open early. It opens on schedule, once clean for those who read the hinge instead of rattling it. You don't rush. You don't beg. You don't chase. You align, and access recognizes you. Remember the three thieves and their antidotes. 1. Panicked grabbing. Desperation touches the blessing first and smudges it. Correction. Slow the body, set criteria on paper, and obey the 48-hour rule. If urgency demands an instant yes, it's a policy no. 2. Forcing motion. Busyness as anesthesia. Correction. 1 lane, 1 offer, 1 message for 90 days. Measured reps, weekly metrics, no mood pivots. 3. Broadcasting too early. Announcements invited appetites and echoed anxiety. Correction. Irreversible first, then visible. Sign, fund, calendar, then a 72-hour visibility delay. Protection is timing. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. Once reality collects, it doesn't issue refunds. So don't sell your timing for relief. Relief is cheap. Timing is capital. Stay in your lane and let time do what it always does. Compound what you handle clean. Restraint is dominance. You don't gloat, you don't explain, you regulate, deliver, and let the math of your pattern speak. Take a breath, shoulders down. If this word met you in the doorway zone, help me move it to more souls who are shaking the handle right now. Press like and subscribe, not for vanity, for mission. It tells the algorithm this message matters and keeps this conversation alive for the ones who need it tonight. Drop 777 in the comments as your signal of readiness and restraint. I will align. I will protect my timing. And if this work steadies you consistently, consider supporting the mission behind it. It fuels the voice that keeps you regulated when the room spikes. Chosen one, walk out clean. You don't rush, you don't beg, you don't chase, you align. The door recognizes you. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects. Let it collect for you, not from you.